Wait for the next one. Quarter tail.
Jumbo, everyone. Welcome to Kiloman Jaro Safari. Before you get through, this should go.
Yeah.
You may experience obstacles at certain jobs.
Wait. Stand back.
Super pleasant journey. You should be in good health.
You want us to sit in between us?
Welcome aboard, everyone. Please
Okay.
slide
Hey,
all the
let
way
mommy sit to
across.
the edge. You sit right here in
Please
between mommy and
remember to
daddy.
stay seated at all times. If you have any small children, they're welcome to sit on your laps, but they must be seated and facing forward at all times.
You know what I found?
Yeah, number 4.
Watch your hands on feet legs.
Thank you, Ward. Okay, as we say here in Harambe, 20, let's go. Now, Jumbo, everyone, my name is Karen. I'm going to be your game guide today on your photo safari through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now, if you do look above you, you will see a game spotting guide, and those are most of the animals that we might see here today. Now, we won't see all of them, but we have had good luck recently. Now, if you have any hats, cameras, cell phones, please make sure that you do hold on to them tightly. We're not allowed to stop here on the reserve to pick anything up. But if you do drop something, please let me know and we'll get it back to you as soon as possible. Now, my one request of you today is that everybody please remain seated at all times. Now, this is for your safety because the road can get quite bumpy out here. Now, we're entering into the Little Light Tree Forest, and I need everybody to keep their eyes peeled because the animals here, their colorings and their markings keep them well hidden. Now, the Harambe Wildlife Reserve was established back in 1971 to help protect the animals that we're about to see here today. Now, over the years, they have gotten used to humans, which makes it great for photo safaris like ours. Oh, and I do see some on our right up here. Look. Now, these reddish ones are the cinnamon-colored ones. Those are the bongos. Now, they're also known as the ghost of the forest because they're rarely seen. If you look up on the hill up there, you're also going to see a tan one, and those are called the greater kudu. And they're the second tallest antelope here in Africa. But if you look at the horns on the bongo, notice how they're spiraled and slanted backwards? That's so they can run through the thick brush and not get tangled up when they're being chased by their predators. Now, I'm sorry to say that they are working on the black rhino enclosure, so we won't be able to see them today, but the black rhinos have been hunted by the hundreds of thousands, and there's only about 5,000 of them left out in the wild. Spot anything else out here today? We're going to head out towards the Sahi River area now where we'll see some hippopotamus. Now, when a hippo calf is born, they weigh about 85 pounds, but a full-grown male hippo, they can weigh about 5,500 pounds. Now, as we come around the corner here, we might be able to get a glimpse of a couple of them over here on the right.
Look, baby.
But we'll also be able to see some more on the left as we get a little further up. Now, the hippos do spend most of their day in the water trying to keep cool, and they are excellent swimmers, But if their feet can hit that river bottom, they would prefer to walk along the bottom of the river. Now over here on the left, behind the island over there, that's what we call a bloat of hippos. Now when the hippos are under the water like that, they do need to come up about every 5 minutes for a breath of air. Let's see if we can find any that are closer up here. Now, those are some pink-back pelican out there on the island, and they get their name because during mating season, the feathers on the male's back turn pink.
They're all high.
Now, the hippos do come out of the water at night to graze, and they'll eat about 150 pounds of grasses nightly, and they'll travel anywhere from 1 to 6 miles in search of food. Now, once again, I am going to remind everybody to please remain seated at all times. To a different ecosystem now. We're going to see different animals, different plants, and different trees. Now, speaking of different, when I come around the corner up here on the right side of the vehicle, you're going to see a funny looking tree that almost looks like it's upside down. Now, that's called a baobab tree. And that tree is very drought tolerant and stores water in that huge trunk. Now it does help that they only bear leaves around 3 months out of the year. And they do have about a 2,000-year lifespan. Now this here is my favorite view on the reserve, the Serengeti grasslands. And this stretches for hundreds of miles across East Africa. It's also the superhighway for millions of migrating animals each year, and home to many of our favorites like the zebras, the elephants, the giraffes, and the lions. And this is the wild Africa that we are trying so hard to conserve. Now if you look out over here on the right, you're going to see some sable antelope. Now they're actually on the emblem here at the reserve. Got some more out there. Let's see if we can, they'll walk out from behind those bushes as we come around. You can see the horns sticking up out in the bushes out there. Now the animals out here do take care of the landscape. You'll have elephants that'll come through and knock down trees, so new grass will grow. But the elephants, they'll eat the tree roots and the leaves. Then you have this giraffe that eat high up in the trees, which lets the sunlight in for the grasses to grow. Then you have the zebra and the antelope that eat the grasses, and the gazelles and the warthogs that trim it all up. So it is a balanced ecosystem out here, and there is enough food for everyone.
Mario is there.
Now, as we come around up here, you see a lot of earthen mounds, and those are actually termite mounds, and they'll bake in the hot sun and get to be hard as concrete. And then the elephants like to use them as scratching posts, and the smaller antelope, as they get worn down, will use them to jump on top of and look out over the savannah to see if there's any predators out there. came down the hill and we saw those sable antelope. Now both the male and the female sables have those horns, and they use those horns to ward off predators or to spar with other antelope, and the males use them to show dominance during mating season. And so the way that you do tell the males from the females are that the males are much darker in color. They're almost a reddish black color, where the females are more of the cinnamon color. Now the animals out here do get the right-of-way, so sometimes we do get slowed down because they'll decide to cross in front of us or they'll walk down the middle of the road. But we're in their territory, so we just sort of have to wait it out and let them do what they need to do. Now, if you look over on the right over there, there's one of the sables. See, right over there, and that happens to be the male, one of the males. If you look up on the hill straight in front of us, there's a giraffe way up on the hill up there. Now as we come around the corner here on the right-hand side up there, those are the white-bearded wildebeest. They also go by the Afrikaans name of Nu, which is spelled G-N-U after the sound that they make. Now when we come up here on the left side, there are some Nkoli cattle up in there. They also go by the name of Watusi cattle, named after the tribe that domesticated them. Now those horns of theirs get to be about 6 feet long and 20 inches at the base.
He's trying to blend in. He said, don't move, they won't come in.
Look, dude.
Now as we come around the corner here, there is a Maasai giraffe. Now the giraffe do get to be about 20 feet tall, and their tongues are about 18 inches long, so that gives them even more height. If you look at this one, I think they're going to try and get up in the tree to get the leaves.
I wonder what he's thinking.
Now giraffes have great eyesight, so that gives them a good advantage out here on the savannah, because they can look out and see if there's any predators way out there. Now we're going to see another giraffe up here on our left, but you're going to notice the pattern on this giraffe is different. This is a reticulated giraffe, and they get their name from the Latin word reticulata, which means netting. But also there's another Maasai giraffe in the trees. I'm going to make a quick stop right up here so you can get some pictures. You can kind of see the tongue on this one, how now when the giraffe have their young are already 6 feet tall and weigh about 150 pounds at birth. Now, you and I have 7 vertebrae in our neck, so do the giraffes. Now we're going to head out towards elephant country, but as we come around the corner up here, if you look over on the left-hand side, you might be able to get a glimpse of some mandrill monkeys that have been hanging out over there. Now the males can weigh up to about 100 pounds. Females weigh between 30 and 40 pounds. Now the dominant male of the troop, he's going to have a bright red and blue face. And that lets the females know that he's close by, and it lets the other males know that he's in charge.
I think they were.
Now, as we head out towards elephant country, you will notice that both the male and the female elephants have tusks. Now, these tusks are made of ivory, and sadly, man slaughters these elephants for their tusks of ivory. Also, man has been encroaching on elephants' territory, so man and elephant are living close together, which is not really safe for either one. Now the road back there was closed, so we're going to have to take the old bridge today. So once again, I am going to remind everybody to please remain seated at all times. Now I know this bridge doesn't look the greatest. It sort of looks like it's falling apart. It's held together by some cable, but trust me, it's safe. Well, you might want to cross your fingers. Oh, lean to the right, everybody. Lean right, lean right, lean right, lean right. All right, good job, guys. We're not going to make it. Well, it looks like I made it, so let's see if you guys can make it. And everybody made it. So let's go see if we can find some elephants up ahead. Now I do see footprints over on my left, and I see test marks in that red clay over there. Now elephants eat the red clay because it contains minerals that their diet is lacking. Now elephants eat about 300 pounds of food every day, and it's mostly grasses, leaves, and tree roots. Now they do love fresh fruit whenever they can find it. Now a male elephant, they can tip the scales at about 13,000 pounds. Oh cool, we picked up a local radio station. We'll make us another stop just a little bit further up, and hopefully we can get a better view of the elephants over on your left. Oh, but look at the right. On the left you got elephants, and on the right you got another reticulated giraffe over there. Now elephants are very social animals, and the young will stay with their mothers till they're about 15 or 16 years old. Then the young males, they'll go off on their own, and the females will just join in and remain with that herd. But the male elephants, they typically live out their lives by themselves, but sometimes they will hook up with another group of male elephants, and then it's called a bachelor of elephants. Now I'm going to make a real quick stop here. If you look over there on your left, just a little bit behind us, you'll get a little closer view of those elephants there.
You look at your binoculars? Okay.
What are you, Kelly? Oh, it's blue over there?
Now as we come around the corner here, if you look over on the left-hand side of the vehicle, now those are the greater flamingos. They're the lightest pink of all flamingos. Now when they're hatched, they're actually gray in color. It takes about 1.5 years of a diet that's rich in beta-carotene for them to get that pink coloring. Now they do get that from the brine shrimp that they eat.
Yeah. They make noises when they fly?
Alright, as we come around the corner here, I see some white rhinos.
Look, they
Now these guys weigh about 5,000 pounds apiece.
What is it? What are they?
No, I think they.
You're on this one?
It's just a foot.
Now their horns are highly valuable on the black market, and poachers that are well financed and have sophisticated means to hunt these animals try to make their way onto reserves like this, but we do everything we can here to protect them. Now you're going to notice that they're kind of dirty. That's because they like to roll in the mud. It actually cools them down and acts as a natural sunscreen for their sensitive hides.
Yeah, that's probably the mud they play in, huh? They always play in it. We always
Now, if you look way up on the hill up there, there's 2 cheetah walking around. Let me get around the corner a little bit. If you look straight up in the trees up there, they're walking in the, see them?
You see them?
Walking in the trees up there. Now, cheetahs are the fastest land mammals, and they can run in sprints up to 70 miles an hour. Now, they do have excellent eyesight, and they're great hunters, and they're one of the only large cats that actually hunt during the day. Now, up ahead of us, we're going to see a Kopi rock formation. And these jut out all over the savanna, and the large cats like to go up there to sun themselves. And it also gives them a good advantage of that savanna. See where their next prey could be coming from. Now the lions do stay inactive about 18 to 20 hours a day.
I'll probably come back over.
Now the female lions, they'll go off at night and do all the hunting. Whatever they get, they bring back and everybody shares.
They're lazy.
Now when we come around the corner here on the left-hand side, you're going to see a warthog.
It's Puma, Dale.
Now warthogs are the largest burrowing land mammals, and they use those tusks of theirs to dig out those burrows, and then they'll back right in with the tusks out, so predators will leave them alone. But the warthogs aren't picky. If they see somebody else's burrow and they're tired, they'll just back right in and go to sleep. Now we've got these little brown and white guys. We'll see 2 of them over here. Got some ostrich eggs also on the left, but these little brown and white guys, these are Bonte boks. And you'll only see them on a reserve like this because they are extinct out in the wild. We have some Grant zebra over there. And then on the left side, as we come around up here, you're also going to see an ostrich. Now, ostrich do have wings, but they're a flightless bird. They can run about 40 miles an hour on those long legs of theirs. Now, the Grant zebra that we just saw, when they have their young are up and walking within minutes of birth, and within just a few hours, they're actually running with the herd. Now, the zebra seems like a docile animal, but they're very strong. One swift kick of that hind leg of theirs to the jaw of an attacking lion, and they could break that lion's jaw. Now, as we come around the corner here, these guys on our left, they're called addax. They're actually a desert antelope. Now, they could go through most of their life without drinking any water because they get the moisture that they need from the foods that they eat, and they're constantly on the move in search of food. There's another one on our right over there, and those horns of theirs get to be about 3 feet long. We also have some yellow-billed storks out there. And those guys, their favorite foods are snakes, lizards, and frogs. Now we're doing everything we can here on the reserve to help protect these animals. But there's things that you folks can do to help us out. You can continue to educate yourself on the plight of these animals, especially the rhinoceros and the elephants. And then you can talk to your family and friends. Now there's wildlife organizations and conservation groups that you can help support. We'd like to keep these animals around for future generations to enjoy. Now we are coming to the end of our safari, and I'm going to drop you off at the closest warden's post, and then it'll be just a short walk to the Harambe village from there. But I'd like to suggest that you take a walk along the Pangani Forest Trail, where you'll see gorillas and meerkats and zebra. And I'll tell you a little secret, there's 2 baby gorillas out there, and their mamas just love to show them off. Now once again, my name is Karen. I've enjoyed having you on my safari today. Now here in Africa, we don't like to say goodbye. We like to say kwaherini, which means go well. So kwaherini everyone, and have a fantastic day here at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Was that awesome or what?
All right, folks, these doors opening. Watch your step on the way out. Don't forget all those personal belongings.
Kwaherini everybody, have a great day out there.
Thanks.
You're welcome.